first estate sale did not disappoint this year, and we came home with an amazing find that we didn't even mean to pick up. Me and my husband had planned to get several things that we saw online for this estate sale, but when we got there, we didn't know that there were 100 people waiting in line to get in that day. And it was shoulder to shoulder, pretty much someone in your face the whole time, so I wasn't even able to record really. I ran upstairs to see if there were some things that I was hoping would still be there. They were all gone. I happened to go in this one bedroom, and there was this blanket on the bed that sort of looked familiar. So I picked it up thinking it was a different brand, and it turned out to be Ralph Lauren. So I grabbed it. It was only $10. I didn't have time to research it, and I just hoped I made a good decision when I left that day. When I got home, I did some research on eBay and some other sites and found out that this $10 blanket was actually selling for over $150. And later on, I'll show you whose little black book I found. I went to another estate sale. I did find this old Pyrex percolator, and it was $4. When I got home, I hadn't checked it good enough though, and there was a crack in the lid. I've been trying to come up with different ways I could get rid of this pot, but I came up with a pretty neat idea, so stick around until the end to see if you like what I've done with this old percolator. I found this little picture frame that looked quite old, but it turned out to be nothing. I came across this flower print, which I turned it over on the back, and the artist had actually signed the back of it, and I only picked it up because of the picture frame. And speaking of autographs, I came across this in a Goodwill store and could not believe that I found it. It's a real autograph picture of Dolly Parton. I took it out of the frame to make sure that you could tell that there was actually marker on the paper, and there is. It was only $6.99, so I came home with a framed autograph of Dolly this year. Now, it's not one of my most expensive finds, but it's just something that's pretty neat. I don't plan on selling it. I think I'll just add it to my own private collection of celebrity autographs, and maybe one day I might decide to sell it. I found these men's running shoes, and I got them for $5, and I'm hoping that I can flip those and get at least around $20 to $30 for those. I normally don't look at the lamps just because they're big and they're bulky and just hard to mail, but today I just decided to look through the shelves just to see what was out there. I came across this lamp, which really sort of caught my interest when I picked it up because it was so heavy. It felt like it was such good quality. Well, I turned it around, and there's a gold label on the back of it that says Lauren. So it was a Ralph Lauren lamp. I had no idea they even made lamps. I looked this lamp up, and it was selling for $150. And next are some of the things that I have sold within the last few days. Another neat find this week was this Burger King sweatshirt hoodie jacket, and I only paid $3 for it. It did have someone's name embroidered on it, and I thought maybe that might hurt it from selling, but I ended up selling it within a week, and I sold it for $45. I paid $6.99 for this Paris Starbucks mug, and I ended up selling it for $30. These mini penguin Christmas lights finally sold after Christmas. Now, I only had $5 in them, and I ended up selling them for $20, so at least I got rid of them a little bit after Christmas. I found this pair of Juicy Couture pants on clearance at TJ Maxx for $13. I ended up selling them for $23. I've sold 2 pair of these so far this year. And unfortunately, the first pair did not fit, and the person is already returning them. I've had this members-only powder blue jacket for quite a while. I paid $3 for it and ended up selling it for $15. One thing that I had purchased that I wasn't sure if it would ever resell was this earwax cleaner. And it was brand new in the box. The box was just beat up. It had not been used before. I paid, I think, $2 for it and ended up selling it for $20. I sold this Hunter's Blades trilogy book for $32. I only paid $3 for it at an estate sale. And in case you're wondering whose black book I found, it was at an estate sale on the top shelf of what was a well-known person in our community who had passed away. and they had a lot of art books and history books, and it was just quite funny to be going through everything and then look on that shelf to see that it was Hugh Hefner's Black Book. It was a book that he had actually written several years ago, and I went ahead and picked it up for 50 cents. Now, it wasn't worth that much when I got home, maybe only $2 or $3 on eBay, but it was still pretty funny to find it in this person's house. I hope seeing some of the things that I have picked up this week and I've sold will help you in your own thrifting journey and your own reselling. And if you'll stick around until the end, you can see how I turned around some of these items that I missed cracks in, gave them a whole new life, and you won't believe how well they turned out. The syrup bottle had several cracks in the bottom of it, so I was trying to think of a way I could change this up and still sell it. So I had some artificial flowers here at home. I put them together with some rubber bands to keep them kind of tight. That way they would fit down inside the bottle because the opening is pretty small. I had some fairy lights left over from another project that I was doing, so I put those down inside the little syrup glass. I had some craft gift tags that I've had for a while, and I thought I would put one of those tags on this little jar, put some twine through it, and even add a wax seal. And I had a few keys left over that were just really for decorative purposes, like skeleton keys, so I added one of those, and that just made this little jar really pop. And here is the finished piece. It is absolutely stunning. Now, I did take a piece of paper from a 100-year-old dictionary, and I rolled that up to cover the stems of the artificial plants so they wouldn't show through. This looks absolutely amazing. I didn't record putting the percolator together, but it is one of my favorite pieces I think that I have made so far. I took pages from a 100-year-old dictionary. I rolled them up and put them around the inside edge to cover up the stems of the artificial flowers. I added some pearl accents, a key on a piece of twine, and it really just set this piece off. I added in some fairy lights later on. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I have repurposed some of the items that I've purchased. I enjoyed putting these together, and they are so neat just to look at. So if you have some things sitting around your home and maybe you're tired of looking at them or you just don't know what to do with them, sit for a moment and think how you could repurpose them or bring them into a whole new life. I'll see you in the next video.